Hello everyone, it's Tana and welcome back to my channel and another video for the Rabbit Hole Designs. Today we're working with two of the stamp sets from the latest release. I can't remember the names of them, but I will put them down below. I'm using the one with the watermelon and the one with the strawberries today. I have, as you can see, tons and tons of images colored. So you are probably going to see some cards on Instagram. Plus, I owe a video that I was supposed to put up earlier this month. But, sick. In and out of being sick recently. I just can't seem to grasp a hold on that. So I'm going to try to squeeze one more video out as well. So first we're going to take the wreath from the strawberry set. I had a very specific design in mind for this panel. Saw it all perfectly. Looked fantastic in my mind. Using the strawberries from the wreath just as a kind of like garland for the top and bottom of this center panel, this main panel. So I went through the painstaking task of not masking so much as taping off parts of the stamp so I could stamp just what I wanted. And that took me a good 10 minutes. Yes, at least 10 minutes. And then I had to draw in some missing parts as well. But as you will see, we had to give up the dream later on in the video. And then really quickly, I also had an idea in my head, so I wanted to stamp out the watermelons really quick. So it's been a while since I've made a slimline card. But I took the slice out and went across the bottom of the panel. And wouldn't you know it, this was the second panel that will not be used in today's video. So you see where thinking ahead gets me, right? Because most of the time it's all for nothing. That's how often I change my mind and make mistakes. So I'm going to take my Catherine Pooler ink, and I was aiming for a very light oval or circle in the center of this panel that I just spent all my time on and colored with Copics. And then I went too heavy-handed and left a streak and left another streak. And it got to the point where I knew I had to blend that out. So the circle just got too big, too dark. It was a mess. And not only that, because I probably could have made that work, it was too busy. It just was way, way too busy. Not at all what I had in my mind. I don't know where I strayed. So here I'm still trying to salvage it, and I'm putting on my shimmers and spritzes. 2 microsprays, I cannot remember the name. If I can find them, I'll link them below, but I think they may be holiday only, like once they're gone, they're gone. And then a gold shimmer spray from Imagine Crafts. And once I had that sprayed and heat set, I went ahead and grabbed this piece of Lucky Clover Tonic glitter cardstock. Cut the center out, no wasting, glitter cardstock. And no, we're not using this panel, but I needed it for measurement purposes. So I have a craft card base as well. And now here is our newly ink blended circle without all the strawberry flower garland. First I used water droplets, and then I went in with both mica sprays. And then I went in with the gold shimmer spray. I spritzed it first, but the spritzes were so fine compared to the droplets of the mica stains that I went in and dropped it just like I did with the mica stain sprays. Stains, sprays, whatever. So now we're going to heat set that to the best of my ability, because I can't tell you how much time I spent putting heat on this panel. When I flipped it over to put foam tape on it, it's still smeared. So you'll see me at the end desperately trying to cover up smears so I don't have to do this panel a third time. So there's a comparison of the two panels. Now we have my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive just going around the edge of that ink blended panel and putting it on its very green shimmery frame or mat. Now I'm going to go in with my Cottontail embossing powder tool, because I'm going to ink up these sentiments. We have a berry sweet day. Now, Sweet Day is stacked on top of each other. Oh, hold on. Oops moment. So close to landing on this ink stamp, freshly stamped Sentiments. So close. Which is ironic. How many people would rather get a whole bunch of ink on their fingertips than just ink up more Sentiments? Just crafters. Gotta salvage the perfectly stamped Sentiments. Now, I will tell you, my brain's not with it. All these hospital visits and everything, I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things. Schedules, demands, trying to keep my body healthy so I can keep going. I did all that with the powder tool and forgot to heat emboss my Sentiments, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. But I thought I'd let you know, because, people think YouTubers don't make mistakes. Oh, yes, we do. We make tons of mistakes. We just have the ability to edit them out if we so wish. I'm popping this whole panel up on foam tape, adding some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and then I'm going to adhere that to the craft card base. Now you see I've also rounded all my rectangle corner edges. And now this is where I knew that first panel would have been too busy, because I was planning it out, which you don't see me do very often. And these are all the images that would have gone inside that panel with the strawberry flower garland I had created. So we have our macarons all tied pretty, and I stamped out, see that leaf and flower on the cupcake? I stamped that out several times so I could use it by itself as greenery and decoration. And that's what you see me doing here for placement. And hence the sentiment, have a very, very sweet day, because it's filled with sweets. Also, let me know in the comments below if you would have put berry off to the left here, tilted, like it is originally, or if you would have done it the way I ended up gluing it onto the card base. Curious to know who would have done what. And that's it for our first card. I have some glitter embellishments there on the card. And now we're moving on to a Bristol piece of cardstock. Its original size is 4 by 8.5. And we're going to ink up a lot of these watermelon slices and heat emboss them with clear embossing powder. And I'm using VersaFine Clear Onyx Black or Nocturne ink. So here are all my watermelon slices, and I've not used my zigs in a very long time. So I'm listing the colors for you up on the screen, and you're not going to see me color the whole thing, just too much at this point. But I did want to give you some idea of how I colored the rinds of the melon and then the flesh. Because the first time I did the flesh on the watermelon, I didn't like the way I colored it, so I switched to a different method, and I liked that a lot more. Plus it was easier and more efficient, and it moved a little bit faster, as in kind of like an assembly line of watermelon slices. And after I went in, which it didn't even click with me until now, I went in with a Zig. It's a fairly new color, at least to me. Red grape, I believe, or dark red grape. Or grape gray. Guys, I'm losing it. And that's what I use to color in the seeds of my watermelon. Now there's my first flesh, and I colored it as I would like any other normal image. But I didn't like the way there was too much darkness. Plus, with all these watermelons in different slices facing different directions, it's hard to tell where your light source would be coming from. So I decided to just play it safe and do them all the same, which is darkest color at the bottom, lightest color at the top. That's it. I wish I could have seen the color on that marker a little bit better because I can't remember what the name of it is now. After we complete these watermelon slices, we're going to color up the background with an Olo marker, blue, B 0.7. But I do end up, because it was very splotchy. Does anybody know why it was splotchy? Because I used Bristol so I could use my zig markers. So not thinking about that ahead of time hurt me, because I feel like I used more Olo ink than I should have, because it was soaking right into that paper. And not only was it soaking into that paper, it was splotchy, however you want to say it. So I went back in with a darker blue. I'm sure you saw it on the screen there, but I can't remember what it was offhand. And outlined every watermelon slice, and then went in and colored over it again with the original color. And it kind of evened it out better than it was the first time. It's still not completely unsplotchy, if you want to say it that way, but it's better than it was. I mean, I guess you could kind of say it reminds you of how a zig looks when you run the water brush over it, so not so bad, I guess. So I stamped out some more watermelon slices, and I played around with the idea of making a larger watermelon slice, which I did not end up using. Excuse my head here. I wanted to make sure my sentiment was straight. I created a sentiment strip with the same color blue that I used in the background of the card, and I stamped out, "You are one in a melon." And one in a melon means you're one in a melon, right? So I made 3 different colors of watermelon slices that would be totally different or off the wall from a regular slice of watermelon. I mean, I suppose I should have only done 1, but for the aesthetic of the card, 1 wasn't enough. So there they are right there. We're going to stack those on top of a sentiment strip, which is on top of a circle of vellum. And after we have all of those adhered to the vellum circle, we're going to pop that up on foam tape and adhere it to the front of our slimline card. I love the yellow slice. I think that's my favorite, the yellow slice. Now I'm going to pop that up on foam tape. And we're going to adhere it to the front of the card. Add a little bit of glue there. And that's it for today's video, guys, and for the second card. Don't forget to sign up for the Rabbit Hole Designs email so you can be aware of all new releases, and the Rabbit Hole Facebook group. We have a lot of fun in there, and you can post your favorite cards that you've made. And don't forget to look us up on Instagram, where there's always new inspiration every day from the brand ambassadors. And we will see you next time, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye-bye for now.